Good. I'll make you co-host.
Thank
Oh,
you.
I can't. Oh, I can't right now. Megan's got the controls.
Okay, all right.
She's driving.
All right, I'll make you host. Did you have a good birthday?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Oh, good. Good.
All right.
Okay.
Oh, someone's got a little kitty cat there.
Now I got more than one,
Oh,
but this one is being pushy today.
oh yeah.
She wants attention. Okay,
That's good.
okay, Gretel, come on. There you go, Daddy got you. There you go, Daddy.
Aw. That's cute. All right, let's get going here. I'm going to be, today's class is a beginner Android class. And we are Get Set Up. I want to welcome you to Get Set Up. We're seniors teaching seniors about technology. We have social hours, all types of different programming that you can check out too. Let me get into my slides here. My name is Donna. I'm your guide for today. I was in IT for over 30 years. I enjoy helping people get over their struggles with technology. And again, we are, seniors teaching seniors about technology. This session is being recorded. If you wish to have a copy of the recording, you can email help@getsetup.io. We are streaming live stream today. Hello, everyone out there. Come on and register and come into classes so we can get to meet you and talk with you. We are not paid to promote any of the, we're going to be talking about a lot of different phones today. We're not paid to promote any of these manufacturers of Android phones. Our agenda today is just to learn about navigating, get a little more comfortable navigating around our smartphones, how to use settings, and how to find and download apps. Now, what type of model Android phone do we have here today? What kind of phones do you guys have?
Samsung S8.
Okay.
I have
Anyone
a
else?
Samsung 8.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else? Jane, what do you have? All right. You could unmute yourself, by the way. If you look in the lower left-hand corner of your screen, there's a mute, unmute button to unmute and unmute.
Okay, I have a Motorola.
Oh, okay. And how about you, Susan? What type of phone? And if you don't know what type, that's okay. How about you? Is it, oh, go ahead. Athelia?
Otelia. I have Samsung 8.
Uh-huh, okay. All righty. And Sue, do you have a type of phone you'd like to share with us? All right, let's talk about getting started with our Android phones. They are much more than just, we can make our phone calls with them. We can send text, emails, but they're really tiny computers. It's really quite a bit that can be done with our phones. We have a lot of different types of phones. There's Samsung, for the big manufacturers, Samsung, LG, Google, Motorola, just to name a few. There's many, 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 many more. It's not like the iPhone world where one company takes care of all the phones in that area. We have many companies, so we have many models. So in this class, none of our phones will match each other, but we help each other out when we can. So when we're looking at our phones, the one thing we do have in common is that we run the Android operating system. It's kind of like when you're talking to someone and they say they have a Windows PC. We're talking about what operating system's on the device. So for us, the thing we have in common is we are running some version of Android. Any questions about that, anyone? And when we look at our phones, this diagram is a Motorola phone. Your phone may vary, but just to be familiar with the physical features of our phones, you may have a little oval patch here. This is probably your speaker at the top of the phone. Then towards maybe the left of it, you'll see a front camera. And that's what they call the selfie camera. That's the camera that faces you. There might be a little flash. You can see a little flash on it. If you look at your phone, you can see that you can see the little bulb. On the back of your phone, if you look at the back, on mine, I've got two lenses, and then that white thing is the flash. So if you look on the back of your phone, like some of these Samsung phones have 3 to 4 lenses, depending on the model you have. You'll have different types there. Towards the bottom of your screen, if you see another oval patch, this is probably for your fingerprint sensor. Does anybody lock and unlock their phone with their fingerprint? Yep, you do, Franz?
Yeah. And on the S8, it's actually right in the back by the camera lens. So you can pick the phone, hold it in your hand, and put your finger right there where you're holding the phone, and it unlocks.
Oh, that's nice. That's a good placement for it. Yeah. So those, that's another option in being able to lock and unlock your phone. And some people like it. Some people, if they have sweaty fingers or something, they have issues then. So it's the type of thing that some people like it, some people don't like it. You may also have a tiny little pinhole that might be your microphone. If you see this little tiny, tiny hole towards the bottom of your phone. And then, of course, we have the headset jack, the USB charger port where we charge our phones. The important thing to make note, because our phones are very different, there's so many of them. When you go to buy cases, or if you're going to change out, let's say you have one of those protector screens, those film you put across your the top of your screen to protect your glass. When you go to replace those, make sure you get the exact model for your phone, because you may end up covering up a microphone hole or a camera, and you'll have issues. All of a sudden you'll have blurry pictures, or something's not going to be looking right. You have to definitely make sure you get the exact model of your phone. Any questions there? We also have, the volume buttons, up and down volume, power button. Some Samsungs, the power button's on the left and the volume up and down's on the right. To do a screenshot on most of our phones, you can press the down volume button and the power button together to create a screenshot. There are some other ways to do it too, but the most rudimentary way on most of our phones is to do that. Some phones, if you press in with the power button, like for instance, this is my phone, I have a Motorola G6. If I press in on my power button, like I'm going to do a reboot, I have a screenshot here on my phone. So some phones may have that, depending on your phone. So that's another area to be able to do a screenshot. And when I say screenshot, that's where there's something on your screen, you want to save it. Could be something you're on the web, and a little description of something comes up, and you're like, ooh, I want to save that right now. You do a screenshot, and that will save what is on your screen. And it makes it into a little picture, a little PNG file. So it'll show up under your gallery or your Google Photos is where it will show up once you take a screenshot. All right. When we talk about navigating your smartphone, take a look at your home screen. When we say home screen on a phone, we're talking about the screen that when you first come into your phone, when you unlock it, when you reboot it, that's your home screen, that very first screen that comes up. You might have a little, clock there. Mine has a clock and weather. You could have different things on your phone there, but it's the main screen. We have a home button on our phones. It's towards the bottom of your screen. You'll see the circle button. When you click on that, it could be a button or it's just on your screen. Not a physical button. It's a little button that's on your screen. Wherever you are, when you click on that button, you go back to your home screen. So if you ever get lost on your phone, you're like, oh my, where did I end up? Just click on that home button. It'll put you right back to the starting place. Like for instance, on my phone, if I scroll, I'm going to scroll a little bit, and then I want to go home, I just click on the bottom middle, that little circle, click on it, brings me right back home. We have two other buttons. On Samsung, it's the reverse of the other Androids. You know, Samsung steps out of the box a little bit. That's okay. So on my phone and maybe some of the other phones, the back button will be on the left side of the home button. Samsung's probably on the right side. Now the back button, just like when you're working on a laptop, you do that back button in the browser and it takes you back your last screen you were on. The back button on the phone is the same thing. It just takes you back to the previous place you were. Just back one step. And if you're playing a game or something, sometimes hitting that back button takes you out of an ad. If you're lucky, you can try it. Opposite the back button, we have a thing called recents. It can be this little square. Could be 3 or 4 vertical lines on your phone, or they could be horizontal, depending on the type of phone you have. But this is the recents button. Now, the recents button, when you click on it, it's going to show you all the apps you have open. Okay, I have my camera app open. I'm going to open up a couple more things so you can see what this looks like. Just get a few more apps open. All right. So I'm going to click on my recents. I opened up a few more apps. So what I'm going to see now are all the tiles of the apps that are open on my phone. And I can, with my finger, just scroll through and see them all. Somewhere on the screen, you'll see a clear or clear all. Mine's on the left side, could be on the top. You might see a clear all if you have a lot. Does anybody have a lot of apps open on their phone? Sometimes in this class, a lot of people, they're shocked. They'll have like 15 things open. Now, when you're looking at this, if I click on any of these apps, it brings it to the forefront. I can work on the app. And then if I want to go back to another app, I just click on Recents button, and I can move over to the next app. Click on that, open that one up. So you can go back and forth if you're working between multiple documents. When you get to a point where you want to close an app, let's say I want to close the camera app. Now, some phones, you do the swipe up. On my phone, if I just put my finger on this app and swipe up off the page, it closes it. It's gone. If your phone does not do the swipe up, you might see a little X towards the bottom of the app where you can just close it that way. Or there might be an X or a close button somewhere on the app. And of course, if you want to clear everything, you just hit clear all to clear it all out. When our phones are just sitting there on the table, we're not doing anything. They are updating and doing updates, doing notifications, all types of things are happening in the background. And when you have apps open, like I just had a whole bunch of apps open, and they'll drain your battery if you're not on your if you're not charging and you're just going about doing your business, they're going to create some drain because they're open at that point. So it's good to check every now and then, make sure things are cleared out. Or if you reboot restart your phone every now and then, that will also clear those open apps out. Any questions so far?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Which was the
Jane?
one you pressed to go back to the thing before? I didn't catch that.
The back button. It's the little triangle. The little it's pointing to the left. The little
Right.
back.
Okay.
It's down toward the bottom side of your screen. Bottom screen. It may be on the left or the right of your home button, depending on your phone. If you're on Samsung, it's probably on the right side. All righty. So if we move up from this navigation bar, that's what they call this here, the navigation bar. The bar above this, if you have this on your phone where you have 5 different icons, this is called a favorites bar. Mine has I have access to my phone, texting, to the internet through the browser. Google Photos, that's this white circle with the pinwheel, and then camera. Now, some of our phones let us customize this. If you have a AARP phone or a consumer cellular one phone, they might be what I call locked, meaning the interface is locked, so you can't really make very many changes to that. If that's the type of phone you have, that's okay. Just, keep following along with us, and there will be other things that you'll be able to get into. Just, don't worry if you can't move it. That just means that it's locked on your phone. Like, for instance, let's say this Google Photos, I don't want this on my favorites anymore. So the way I would move an icon is I would just press, if you press lightly, the app will open up. If you press firmly down, now I'll be able to move this app. So I'm going to push down on it. You'll feel this little thud under your finger, and I'm going to drag out. If you're on a Samsung, it jiggles. You have to wait for the icon to jiggle before you can move it. Now, you don't have to make any changes on your phone. This is just to show you the features that are on our phones. Now, let's say I want to put Facebook. Here's Facebook. Maybe I want to put Facebook on this bar. I would press down on the icon, and then I would just move it out and put it on the bar. It's just to show you that these icons can be moved around. I'm going to show you just to take a look at what, like an icon for an app. Like, for instance, I have Candy Crush right here. Okay. Just pick any app. Press down on it, and you will notice a pop-up comes up, and you should be able to see app info. Go ahead and click on that so you can see the information. It can be any app you have, a game, whatever. Doesn't matter. Just click on the app info, and it'll open up to a screen that tells you some information about the app. You may notice uninstall. There's an app you want to get off your phone. This is the way to do it. Just press down on it, click on app info, and then you can just uninstall it. That will take it off the phone if you do uninstall. Force stop. Yeah, if you've got an app that starts acting funny, you go to open it and it immediately closes or it's locking up on you, you could try a force stop to see if you can, it kind of clears out and shuts down the app if it's stuck. That doesn't work. You might have to, I would actually restart your phone, do a restart on the phone, because that can clear out a lot of problems. And then if you're still having trouble with that app, probably uninstall it and then install it again. And when I say install it again, I mean go to Google Play Store, or if you, well, actually, there's no iPhones here. Go to Google Play Store and actually bring the app back down onto your phone. There's a notifications section. Let's say, and boy, the games are really notorious for notifications. Let's say an app is just driving you nuts with all the notifications. I mean, they're always there, cluttering up when you're trying to figure out what kind of phone calls you missed, or the text you missed, the emails you missed. And there's Candy Crush. I always pick on Candy Crush. All kinds of notifications going on. Okay, you probably have an app or two like that on your phone. You can come in here and just shut off the notifications. And when I mean shut off and on, if I turn this notification on, it's going to have some kind of color. It's blue on my phone. It could be a gold on your phone. It could be different colors with our phones, but there's going to be some type of color. And then when I shut off, I'm going to click on this button again, and then it goes gray. So on all of our phones, it will probably go to some type of a gray, and that would mean off. So if you have an app that right now, oh boy, I don't like all these notifications, just go into that app info and you can just, quiet them down. Some apps you don't mind their notifications. Maybe you have a meditation app or a yoga app, and every morning they send you something to start your day, and maybe you like that. that's fine. But if some apps, if all they're doing is just telling you, oh, we just updated to version 5.3 or something like that, that's kind of stuff you don't really, if you don't care about it, you can always shut it off. Other information you can find under the app info is the storage. How much space does this app take on your phone? If you're getting tight on storage, you're getting messages saying you're running out of space. What you should probably do is take a look at the apps you never use. And you can start going into the app info for them and maybe get rid of some of them. You can see how much space it frees up. And you can clear them out if you want to save some space. You can see how much data usage too that an app uses. If you're using an app, I don't actually play this very often, but if there's an app you use a lot, you can see kind of how much data. If you're worried about, if you have limitations on your data, you can see how much data usage the app uses. Anyone have any questions about app info? Okay. Let's say I want Candy Crush off the page. I can press down on Candy Crush with my finger and then just swipe up and it's off the page. If your phone doesn't let you swipe up, you maybe if you tap down on it, there'll be a little close button that shows up, then you would close it. Or remove, or it might say remove from page. You would do that. Now, it's not, I did not install it though. It's still on my phone. If I swipe up from the bottom of my screen and I go into my app folder, right? We all have our app folders. There's Candy Crush. Now, if I want to put it back on my page, all I have to do is press down on it and I'm going to drag it out and then I can just drop it onto the page. So you can move your icons around. You can organize them in different ways you want. You could make folders. If I take Candy Crush and I put it over on another icon, when you put one icon on top of the other, it becomes a folder. So there's a little folder between Candy Crush and this other app here. I click on it. It's unnamed folder. I could give it a name. I could call it games. I could call it taxes. I could call it work docs, whatever I want to call it. It's just a folder. I could put in whatever I want to put in here. I might have documents I have that I want to put them all in one folder. I can do that. You can drag anything that can be dragged into this folder. I have another folder down here that has several apps here that I can. You can put quite a few, I think up to 64 into one folder, something like that, depending on your version of Android. Now, if I don't want this folder anymore, I just have to grab Candy Crush, drag it out, and that will dissolve the folder. You might see a folder, if you look on your home page, there's a Google folder on probably most of our phones. It looks like this. It's got the G and the M. You can recognize that it's Google apps. It says Google on it. You can't make changes to this folder. You can't add any more apps in or anything like that. But we have a loose tie with our Android phones with Google. Well, probably a little more than loose. It's a tie with Google. This is all the Google apps on our phone. You may recognize, the browser, Chrome browser, Gmail, Maps, YouTube, Google Drive. If you save files on Google Drive, you can have access right here. Of course, Docs, Sheets, and Slides. Those are the document apps, and Google Photos. Duo does anybody use Duo? Yeah. It's like you know how the iPhone people have FaceTime? That Google Duo is just like FaceTime. So people with Android phones, you can converse with each other with Duo. You open it up, you select a contact on your list, and you can call them through Google Duo. They'll answer as long as they have Google Duo on their phone also. it will ring, they'll answer, and it'll be a video call. So you can use that. It's free. If you have issues with iPhone people, they go, oh, you can't do FaceTime. They can download Google Duo onto their iPhones too. So they can do that. Franz, you have a question?
You just answered it.
Oh.
Can somebody who has one of those Apple phones contact me on Duo?
Yeah. I mean, we all go through this, don't we, with our iPhone friends?
Yes, we do.
We all have that. Yeah. Oh, too bad you can't do FaceTime.
Too bad you can't do Duo.
It's all, we always get hit with that club, don't we?
Yes.
Oh, too bad you can't do FaceTime. Well, now another popular app, and we have a class on it too, is WhatsApp. And that is very popular, especially if you're dealing with people who are international. And that's a very popular app. So you could, that might be an app also. We have a class on it. You can check it out if you want, but that could be an app that your iPhone person may already have on their phone too, that you could take a look at. But Google Duo is really, works just like FaceTime. Open it up. Once you have made a connection with the person, then it makes a little shortcut. So the next time you go to talk to them, you just click on it. You don't have to search for them in the contacts or anything. So you can try that out. All righty. Any questions? All right, let's talk about our status bar. Whoops. At the top of our screens on our phones, you will see a status bar. Towards the right side of the screen, you're going to see things like your battery status, maybe your Wi-Fi connection, how many bars you have. If you have your clock, if you have your alarm set, it's going to be over here. These are all things really pertaining to the hardware of the phone, the connections the phone has. Whereas on the left side of your status bar, you're going to see things like the little phone icon. Maybe you missed a phone call. It's going to show up there, or a text or an email. And any notifications you get from apps. All that's going to show up on the left side of the screen. If you pull down from the top of your screen, pull down with your finger, you will see your notifications. Pull down from the top of your screen with your finger, and you will see whatever notifications you have. You can scroll down. There's a clear. I'm going to clear my notifications here. You can clear them out. It's shorter now. You'll see a clear or clear all, and you'll see a manage notifications. This is another way, if there's an app that all of a sudden you see a bunch of notifications from this app and you're like, I've had it. You can come down to the bottom area, click on manage notifications, and you can come in here and you can see, like, my calendar notified me 40 minutes ago, my step tracker, weather, messages. So you can see all the notifications. But if you see someone that you really want to stop them now, you can just quickly shut it off. Just click on the little icon, the little button to turn it off, to stop the notifications. When you pull down from the top of your screen, you have this quick settings bar. It's also called the quick panel on your Samsungs. These are icons that are most likely to be accessed, so that's why they put them in an area where you can quickly get to them, especially like the flashlight. If you put your finger, once you see the 6 icons at the top, put your finger right about here in the middle and pull down again with your finger. Pull down, and you should see more icons. You can also scroll to the left with your finger and see even more, depending on your phone. You might see more. Now, we'll have a lot of common icons in this area, and then we'll have some that are different between our different phones, of course. But don't worry about your phone matching mine. The important thing in this class is really to look at your phone and see what it does. That's really the most important thing to get out of this. You may see your Wi-Fi. This is where you can turn Wi-Fi on and off. Bluetooth. To me, it looks like an ant running up a side of a wall. The Bluetooth symbol. You know, maybe you just jumped into your car and you want to attach your phone to your speakers. You would could swipe down from the top, get to Bluetooth, and connect that way. Do not disturb. That's another feature where you can silence your phone if you don't want you don't want to be disturbed. You don't want phone calls coming through. You can do that on your phone. That's what this icon looks like with the dash. Our flashlights, again, you can quickly get to your flashlight swiping down from the top.
I have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
In that area, mine has something called DEX, D-E-X. What is that?
DEX, D-E-X. Okay. Not sure, but you know what? I'm going to head over to Google. You have a Samsung probably? Is that
Yes,
Stephanie?
Samsung Galaxy 9.
Let's see. Oh, let's see.
DEX device.
Oh, you can transfer files.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
You can easily drag and drop files between devices.
Yeah.
So using your USB cable, you could connect it to your laptop and you'd be able to move your files back and forth.
Really?
So, yeah, that's kind of nice.
Such as my photo files?
Yeah, you connect your mobile to a compatible Windows PC or device, so you can access it right. Yep.
Oh,
So I will send you a link to this article, and when at the end of the class, you'll get an email,
okay.
and I'll send you a link to this. So that's a nice feature. I like that. My phone doesn't have that. Now I'm jealous. Okay. I wish we could just have all I mean, really, you know, there's all different features with all of these different phones. Too bad we just can't have it all in one. But then that would be called an iPhone, I guess. All right. So great. Good question. And these help other people too, because you probably just helped other Samsung people going, oh, wow, I can do that. Airplane mode, you know, someday, you know, someone will tell us to put our phone in airplane mode. So your airplane mode, that of course shuts down external communication from your phone. For instance, if I put my phone into airplane mode, it's going to shut off my Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and mobile data. So I'm going to turn it on, and you can see all three of these shut off. And then when I turn off airplane mode, mobile data, Bluetooth, and Wi-Fi come back on. So that's what airplane mode does. So you can see different settings on there. If you have a bar like I do at the top of your screen, this is a way to quickly adjust the brightness on your display instead of going and searching for that setting. You can just scroll it and it will adjust the brightness for you. So you can make adjustments like that quickly. Any questions?
Yes.
Jane?
What is DOLBY Smart Auto?
Oh, yeah. This is, Motorola's have this one. Oops. What it does, it's for music, listening to music. It enhances the music sound from the phone, and it's only, as far as I know, Motorola's have it. I'm trying to click into the settings. Here we go. If you click down, Jane, and press into it, you'll get the settings like this.
Okay.
So it makes automatic adjustments so you get the best sound, and you can go ahead and, you know, turn them on for music, movies. So you have different types of sound that you can play with. So you can try these settings out. When next time you're listening to something on your speakers, try it out to see, you know, the difference. Like I know the movie one, I've tested with my phone. It sounds like a surround sound thing. So you can play around with that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And, you know, Samsung people, you may also have some type of a sound thing also for your Samsung. So you could take a look and see if something like that is there. And it's just to, you know, because when you listen to music the sound's a little different than when you're listening to a movie. So you'll have these type of features. You may see that on your phone too. All righty. Let's talk real quick a little bit about finding and downloading apps on our phone. We have the Play Store. It has this little blue icon. It looks like I guess it's a pyramid. If you click on the Play Store, this is where you can get apps for our phones. Oh boy, they got millions of apps here. When you go into Play Store, there's a search bar here. You can search for different types of apps. You know, let's say you like to knit. Maybe I'm a knitter. I could look up knitting apps. And then what would come up is all the knitting apps. Maybe I like fishing. You could come in here and say fishing. Oops. See what comes up. There's some fishing games. So when you're looking at apps, when they come up, let's say I open up this game here. 50 million plus downloads. That's pretty good. That's a lot of downloads. You know, the key when you're looking at apps, you don't want it to have 2 downloads. You don't want to be number 3 because you're still testing the app for them. You want a decent amount. 50 million is good. The reviews, 4.6. That's out of a scale of 5. So you can go in here. You can look at the screens. Like, for instance, if I scroll to the left with my finger, I can see what the screens look like on the app. If I click on them, they'll get bigger, so you can see what it looks like, what it might look like on your phone, and you can scroll down even farther. Oh, wow, people really like this one. There's more. It's good to have more 5s than anything else. So that means that people like this app. You can read about the reviews. Of course, people are not shy. You know, they'll tell you all about it. If it's good, they'll tell you it's good. If they don't like something about it, they'll tell you that too. And then if you think you like this app, you can go click on install. It takes about a minute or so to install an app. And once it's on your phone, it should show up in your app folder. May also show up on your one of your pages too. And again, if you end up not liking the app, just go to App Info, press down on the icon, go to App Info, and you can uninstall. When you're looking at the Play Store, you know, there's at the bottom of the screen, there's games, apps, movies and TVs, books. They have different categories that you can go to. And they'll tell you the top charts. They'll tell you what are the most popular apps that are going on if you're just kind of curious to see what people are like. If we go top of charts, Zoom is on the top. It's been on the top probably through the whole pandemic here. But you can see other apps, what people are downloading. Any questions about the Play Store? All right. Let's talk a little bit about our settings on our phones. Look for the gear on your phone. It's a gear. It's got some color around it. Mine's got green. Yours might have blue. Some phones have silver or gray. Look for the gear and click on the gear. And this will bring you into settings. It's good to take a little look if you've never been in here, especially if you've never been into settings. Notice at the top of your screen, hopefully you have a search bar or some kind of search section. If you don't have the bar, you might have at least the magnifying glass. If you click on that, that might open up for search. Because I might start talking about some type of setting, and you might not see it on your phone. You can just go to your search bar, search for it, and your phone will tell you what section it's in. But when you look at these settings on our phone, it starts off with the things like network or internet access, those type of connections, because those are the most urgent usually for your phone, so they have them right at the top. Bluetooth, So you'll have a Bluetooth setting. I have a Motorola, so it's under connected devices. Some of your phones, it's just under Bluetooth. You'll have an apps section, notification section. And then there'll be things like battery, display, sound, definitely sound, storage. You'll have a security section or a location section or both. You might have it worded differently on your phone. A section for accounts. You're going to add accounts for the different accounts that you have on your phone. You can manage them, if I click on my phone, all the different accounts that you have. You can come in and you can change passwords and stuff and just manage them on your phone. Accessibility. Now, if you have accessibility area on your phone, these are apps that have to help you out if you've got any issues with eyesight, hearing, dexterity. There's a lot, like for instance, Live Transcribe. That's an app that you can open it up when you're in a restaurant, and you will see, if you're talking to people at the table, you will see what they're saying on the screen. So that can help out a lot in noisy areas. There's all types of things to look at in here. You can change your font size on your phone, the display size. If you're having trouble seeing your screen, you can make adjustments here. The touch and hold delay. This has to do with your on your apps. If you find that they're opening too easily for you, you could put more of a delay on it so that they don't always open all real quick on you. You can do things like that. So there's a lot of different settings in that area. We all have a Google section to handle the Google accounts on our phone. And then towards the bottom, there is help. There's a help section on most of our phones where you can learn more about your phone. And usually there'll be a system or about phone. If you have system, go into system, and then you can go into about phone. But this section is helpful if you're ever talking to a support person and they start asking you, what's the model? What's the exact model? Or what type of Android, what version Android are you running on your phone? You can find all that information under About Phone. You can see all that there. Anyone have any questions about that? So it's good to get familiar with this area. If you ever make any changes, write it down, because I know for myself, I'm going to forget. Write down the change you made, and then test it. Don't make more than 2 changes at a time. 1 change at a time to make sure that everything's working okay. Let's talk about our network section in the on your phone. Could be internet also, depending on your phone. This is a lot of these features here we've already looked at in the quick settings. There's the Wi-Fi, mobile data. You can shut them on and off here. Data usage, you can see a little bit about your the type of data usage you have on your phone. I just paid my bill. I have 29 days left. So you can see an idea of where your plan what your status is with your plan. Airplane mode is here also. So all this type of stuff is all in your network or internet section of your settings. Bluetooth, this is another one. It's under connected devices on my phone. It could be under Bluetooth for you. Now, Bluetooth, this is where you can connect your, let's say you want to listen to music over the speakers in your car. You could connect to your car speakers. You could get just a regular Bluetooth speaker in your home. You could connect your phone to that and play music to the speaker. Some medical devices now use Bluetooth, and they download and upload information to your phone for instance, if you have does anybody have a hearing aid that they can adjust through their phone, the volume up and down and everything? Yeah. They have that technology now where you can adjust with your phone how what the loudness is in your between the ears. So that's pretty good. So you'll have that type of stuff using Bluetooth. And your car radio, most cars now, probably, because Bluetooth's been around for quite some time now. So most cars on the road have Bluetooth, unless you're driving a vintage car. And you should be able to work. You should be able to open up your Bluetooth section and go to pair new device, turn on the device that you're pairing with, go to pair, or it might say pairing on your phone, something like that. You go into that section, your phone is going to search for that speaker or the car radio speaker, whatever you're trying to connect to. And it should show up on the list. If it shows up on the list, you just click on it and then they will pair. And then you should start working. So that's Bluetooth. Under apps and notifications, could be just applications for you. This is the area, or notifications, I should say. Go to notifications. If you have two separate selections in your phone, go to notifications. So under notifications, this is where you can, of course, shut notifications on and off again for different apps. If you want to, you can turn them on and off in here also. You can choose, it says on lock screen. What that means, if you have something similar to that on your phone, what that means is when your phone is locked and it's just sitting on the table, and let's say a phone call comes in or you hear something, a sound happens on your phone, and you can glance without unlocking your phone. It's going to show you what the notification is. So you can look at it and decide, maybe, I'll call them later. You don't have to bother unlocking your phone. So if you get a lot of notifications, you might want to consider having them on your locked screen so you can just take a look without unlocking your phone each time. Notification dots or badges. I know Samsung, you call them badges. Those are the little dots that show up on your icons. You may have noticed your icons will have these little dots on them. That's what those are. They're just telling you that there's notifications or some type of update that the app has done. If those just disturb you, you can always just shut them off and you won't see the badges or the dots anymore on the icons. You can change the default sound of notifications. When I first got this phone, man, they had a terrible sound they used. So you can just come in here. It's just like changing your ringtone. You just select the sound you'd like for the notifications. Any questions about that? Now, this one you might have to search for. On my phone, I'm still under apps and notifications. I have to go to advanced. This is another thing to be aware of when you're looking at settings on your phone. When you're looking for a setting, you might look in a section and say, oh, it's not here. But I have an advanced, you might see advanced in your areas. If you click on those, that usually will bring you more features. So be aware of that might be on your phone, that advanced section. So look under app permissions. If you can't find it again, just go to your search box, search app permissions, and your phone should tell you where it is.
Is it permission manager?
What?
Permission manager.
Yeah, permission manager. That would do it. Yep, permissions. Because we're going to talk about permissions. When you install an app from the Play Store, you have to say yes to all the questions, right? If you say no to anything, it won't install the app. So you have to say yes to the camera, the mic, the location. You have to say yes to everything, right? Well, a lot of these apps do ask for more than they really need.
Yes.
So you can go into permissions and you can look. you can see, they have it broken down by calendar, call logs, camera, contacts, location, microphone, phone. You'll see all these listed. SMS, by the way, is texting. SMS means texting. That's the area that they're talking about. Storage. So you can look and you can say, okay, who has access to my camera? So you can come in here and you can look and see who has access. Like, for instance, Zoom, an app like Zoom has to have access to your microphone and camera, obviously. Google Maps has to have access to location. It has to know your location or it's not going to work. So you can be a judge of if it's a game, a lot of these games don't need that type of access. So you can come in and then you can turn it on or off. I advise if you have an app that you are uncomfortable about the amount of yeses you have to say to install it, you can go in here and look and see what type of access they have. You can also look at the app info section too, by the way, and look for the app permissions. But you can go in and then you can turn off some of these permissions that an app has. I advise you to test the app, make note, write down what you turned on or off. Try out the app, see if it still works. Okay, then you would know that they probably didn't need that permission in the first place. Because I know for me, my pet peeves are the camera, the contact list, having access to everyone on your phone, and your microphone and your location. Those are my pet peeves on that one. Questions about that? Were people able to find it on their phone? Yeah. You might have to dig a little bit. But that's it's an important one there. You get back a little of that control that you give up. All righty. You have a battery section. This gives you tells you a little bit about your battery. Gives you, like, I have usage details. You might have a bar graph or something on your phone that's telling you some information about your battery. It tells you when your last charge was. You'll see battery saver. What battery saver is to help extend your battery life when you're not on the charger. When you're out and about during the day and you kind of know your phone. There's a breaking point where you get to a certain percentage on your battery and then that's it. And your own phone, so you probably know where you might need to set it. I had a phone that once it hit 20%, that was it. I had a good 10 minutes left and it just dropped. I mean, that thing went. So I used to set that one I think I set it at 40%. So that what would happen is once it hit 40% battery, then it went into a saver mode. Apps you're not using, they will not be allowed to do updates, notifications, nothing. They have to be quiet until you're back on the charger. So that's what they do when they go into that saving mode. Only the apps you're currently using will be allowed to, you'll be able to use them and everything. It's just that all this background stuff that's happening, the updating and notifications will be silenced. Any questions, anyone? All right. Well, the last one we'll talk about today is the display. If you go into your display section, you'll see this is this is where you can adjust your brightness level for your phone. Color modes. I'm going to go under advanced on mine. You might have an advanced section. You can do things like, let's say, font size. They'll give you a little description of what it looks like now. Let's say this is too small for me to read. I want to bring it up to the big size. So I'm going to click on the right here on the scale. And now they'll show you how much bigger the text is going to be on your phone. So you can adjust that type of stuff. Your display size too. You can make adjustments to the display. You can set your sleep when your phone goes to sleep. Like right now, mine is set for after 30 minutes. If I haven't touched the phone, it's going to lock. It's going to go to sleep. If yours is going to sleep too fast, maybe you have, a lot of these phones, the default is about 1 minute, 2 minutes, and then they go to sleep. So, you can always set it longer if you find you're unlocking your phone all the time. Adaptive brightness. Now, depending on how old your phone is, you may or may not have this. This is fairly new, probably 4 years, something like that. What this does, it adapts your brightness on your screen to what's around you, the brightness around you, how light the room is. So you can adjust. It will actually adjust to the room, the brightness in your room. I had this on my phone. I found it made my screen too dark, but you can try it out to see if you would like to see if it will help you. It's supposed to help you when you go outside and the sun's bright. It'll adjust the screen a little darker so you can read your screen when you're out in bright sun. And then when you come indoors, it's going to adjust it to the light indoors. So if you have it, you could try it. If you have, if you find that your screen's always too dark or it's always too bright, try adaptive brightness and just see if that will, if it will adjust well on your phone. Has anyone been using that adaptive brightness? No. But do you have it on your phone? Yeah. Try it out. I tried it. Yeah. It just it made the screen too dark when I was inside for some reason. So, but different phones are different. If it doesn't work for you, just go and turn it off if it's not working. All righty. Well, we are at the end of our class. You're always welcome to come back into these Android classes. We always come up with different things from time to time, depending on phones. You will learn about new features about your phone. Other related classes we do have an Android Advanced Tips and Tricks class. We go into more advanced features of our phones. We'll talk more about them. There's another class, Fun Things to Do on Your Smartphone, talking about different types of apps that you might enjoy using on your phone. And I do have a class if you're interested in really learning about Google Maps on our phones. There's Google Maps for navigation. You will get class notes at the end of this session. You can leave your feedback. And also, if you have any class ideas, go ahead and jot them down in there. They definitely read them and they will make note of the class ideas you have. If you would like to host your own interest group, maybe you like to garden or whatever you like to do, let us know. We'll pair you up with a guide. They'll get you going on your little group, and you can meet some more people in the community and have a great time with it.
I have a question.
Sherry?
Are there any classes on troubleshooting? I have problems with my phone I can't figure out.
Yeah, we don't have troubleshooting, although I have thought of doing that. But what kind of problem are you having?
Well, something flashed up on my screen and I accidentally bumped it. And now I have continual chimes in the background.
Continuing chimes. Is it a Samsung?
Yes.
And has anyone had that problem before? This is why it's good to ask the group. Because sometimes people have it.
I went in and shut off all my apps. So I know it's not an app that's running.
Continuing chimes.
Yeah.
And when does it chime?
Oh, like wind chimes all the time.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's strange.
The kids that work in the store where you got it, they'll tell you in a second.
Yeah. Next time you're at the mall, I would jump in and just let them know about it and see what they say.
Yeah.
That's kind of odd. I've never heard of that one.
Yeah.
All right. And also, if our website changed drastically a couple weeks ago. If you would like to know more about the new website we have, or if you're new to Get Set Up and you'd like to have a little more information about the website, Marv has a great class, Tips and Tricks to Navigating Get Set Up's New Look. You can learn all about the new features in the class. They got a TV feature and everything. You can go find out all about that in Marv's class. So I want to thank you for attending today. I hope it was helpful for everyone. It's nice, it's just the exercise of looking at our phones. We learn a lot about them that way. So enjoy the rest of your day, everyone. We'll see you again in other classes. Have a great day. Enjoy.
Thank
Great
you.
having you. Thank you.